Hey everybody, welcome to the Blothers podcast. My name is Gor Arieli.
And I'm Jacob Shanker.
Today we have a very special episode for you guys. We're going to be talking about what's happening around the soccer world.
Yeah, a lot has been happening. Probably the biggest news, obviously, PSG. It's official.
Signing Messi.
Yeah. So talk about that.
I mean, it's crazy, right? Because this guy, he's played at Barcelona since he was 13 years old.
We
And now
grew
he's
up with him in
33.
Barca.
Yeah, we grew up with him playing at Barca. Most of our generation did too. So it's crazy to watch him leave and also leave for PSG, which I personally don't like that move. So I wouldn't want to see him play in a farmers league, but that's the move that he made.
Unfortunately, yeah. I mean, I think it came down to he just wanted to win, right? And he's going to win on this team because it's a powerhouse of a team. I mean, completely from top to bottom.
I mean, here's the thing. Most clubs that he would have gone to would have already been established clubs, right? He wasn't gonna go to like a League Two side in England, right, and play for Sunderland.
Yeah.
He was always gonna go to a top club. So no matter which club he went to, he would win, probably.
I mean, yeah, but I think this just solidifies it. Him going to PSG, it's going to mean that he will win.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right though. Like if he went to like Man City, he would have probably still won as well, just because Man City's obviously crazy. But
if he went to any of the top five sides, he probably would have won trophies.
Probably. I mean, most likely. But so, I mean, I'm just looking at the roster right now. I mean, the attack is insane. Mbappe, Neymar, and Messi.
Yeah, and then they also have Di Maria. They also have Icardi. Two very good players.
And now, which I like completely forgot about, but Sergio Ramos is on the team as well.
Yeah.
Messi's rival.
His former mortal enemy turned friend.
I mean, I think that's going to be very interesting to see. No?
Yeah. I mean, definitely, you're going to see a guy who has tried to kill Messi on multiple occasions during the El Clasico now try to be his best friend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, watching the rivalries between Real Madrid and Barca when they were at their peak was unbelievable because both of them had powerhouses.
Mm-hmm.
And so now they're going to be teaming up, which is unreal.
It's crazy. I never would have thought that in a million years. But let's talk about the other things happening around. Chelsea have not officially signed Romelu Lukaku.
Yeah.
Completed his medical today. Probably going to announce him in the next week. Rafael Varane is going to be announced at Manchester United in the next few days, having tested negative for COVID.
I thought he already was officially with the team, no?
No, he had to go through COVID protocols, which is a week in quarantine.
Gotcha.
And then he would get tested again, and then he starts training with the team, hopefully to try to take his place for next week's league opener against Leeds.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, Man U and Chelsea have been making some big moves in the offseason, and I think it's going to be interesting to see both of them fight for the number 2 spot because they both have very good teams. And especially now with Chelsea with Lukaku, who's a phenomenal player, and Man U with all the players that they got in offseason.
I mean, I think it may be interesting. It depends on how well Grealish meshes into the City system and how well Pep can utilize him. But I think that this season has the possibility and the potential to be maybe one of the best seasons we've seen. Because every one of the top 5 sides from last year, except for maybe Liverpool, even though they did strengthen a little, have gotten better and have made quality signings. So it's going to be interesting no matter what this year.
And I'm going to take back what I said about the Spurs on my rankings. I definitely put them higher because I had intentions that Harry Kane would be leaving, but it's official that he's not going to be leaving. So obviously have the Spurs being higher.
Yeah. I think with Kane staying and them being linked with Lautaro Martinez, who is a phenomenal young up and coming striker,
Mhm.
is definitely going to make things interesting. Maybe play Lautaro out on the wing with Son and then have Kane play up front, or have Kane play as a more central attacking midfielder and have Son and Lautaro as two strikers. That could be interesting also. I think Tottenham, if they manage to strengthen their defense a little, could definitely compete for the fifth, fourth, or even third spot in the league.
I think it's a bit of a reach for them to be third, but I definitely think they can. They're in the competition to qualify, most
Yeah.
definitely. But yeah, they have a lot of possibilities for all the rotations that they can do because they do have a great offense. It's like you said, the defense they need to work on.
Mm-hmm.
But let's move on to the other side of the world. Basketball. Summer League has started. There's a ton of games that have been going on. A lot of players have been showing out. So, who has been your favorite player to watch so far?
I mean, I haven't watched that many games, to be honest. I mean, I've seen Emmanuel quickly playing extremely well, dropping, what was it, 32?
Yeah.
Even though it's in the summer league, it's signs that he's getting better. I've always liked Emmanuel quickly. I've always had sort of a soft spot for the Knicks because I lived in New York.
Hmm.
But um, I think this shows that he has gotten better and the player that he can be, the leader that he can be.
Yeah, he was definitely a surprise last year. I mean, the Knicks drafted him not late in the draft, but they drafted him later, and he turned out to be a great player for the Knicks, and he's going to be a great rotational guy for the Knicks as they look to have a deep playoff run this year because
Yeah.
now they have something to prove. They have to prove that it wasn't just a fluke, that 1 year wasn't just the 1 year the Knicks could make the playoffs, that they could repeat that and go even further, even though it'll be very difficult, but that they can do that.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, yeah, some of. I mean, we got to talk about LiAngelo Ball. I mean,
Yeah.
the man, the myth, the legend, and I mean, he hasn't done much, but there has been so much speculation even now that he will uh, get signed by the Hornets and actually
I
go to
mean,
the NBA.
I mean, he has his first game in the summer league. It wasn't that crazy, but he did drop 15 points.
Hmm.
I mean, 16 points. Um, his second game, I saw that he also played pretty well. So it may not be as bad of a signing as people would think.
No, it's definitely not bad. I mean, he did pretty well, and then he also had that like pretty crazy pass where he tapped it
Yeah.
to his teammate, but it's not obviously not a starting or even a rotational worthy player, right?
I mean, I'm not sure because I did like what I saw in him as a shooter,
Well, yeah, but if
right?
you think about the Hornets roster, like there's so many guys on that team that I would start him over. Like there's
That
a
you would
ton of
start him over.
yes, or not even start him that I would play him over. Like maybe you could sign him and send him to the G League and let him get better and better and then bring him in 2 years later or something like that. But he's not an NBA ready player. Like he was, don't get me wrong, he played well during summer league, but he's not the type of player yet.
I mean, I guess you can say that he's not really particularly starring in the summer league. I mean, his first game he scored 16 points. His second game he scored 10 points, shooting 1 of 4 from three.
Hmm.
Um, so he may not be that star player that people maybe thought he was in high school, but I definitely think that he has some sort of potential to maybe be a solid rotational player.
Yeah, in the future, I think that's pretty much his ceiling. I mean, compared to his brothers, where I mean, Melo Ball has a ceiling of being an MVP, and Lonzo Ball obviously could be an All Star, but LiAngelo Ball is the outlier. Unfortunately, LeVar Ball couldn't go with the all three of the brothers to be great, but at least all three of them could be NBA players, which is nuts.
Yeah, yeah. I think I think it's true that he's the worst one out of them, but I'm not sure if he's send him to the G League, bad.
I mean, it just depends on if let's say he does go to the Hornets, I would send him to the G League because there may be some players I would start him over, but not enough because when you play a game, you're gonna start 10 guys or you're gonna play 10 guys, and on the Hornets, I can see 10 guys that I would start or play over LiAngelo Ball.
It's true. It's true. He may not get much playing time, but I think he's worth to keep around. You know, if you suddenly need a shooter, he can knock down three, right? He's pretty athletic. He has, I'm pretty sure, what was it, like a 40+ inch vertical?
Yeah,
He's a good athlete, right? So maybe it's not necessarily a bad thing to keep him around.
no, definitely not. And you also have the connection with him and his brother,
Obviously.
obviously. But yeah, I mean, Summer League, I mean, it's just getting started. We're seeing a lot of crazy dunks, crazy plays overall, pretty much. So it's going to be fun to see more of those plays happening.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
I'm Gorielli,
And I'm Jacob Shanker.
and this has been the Blothers podcast. Thank you so much for listening, and we hope you tune in for the next one.